Today we're going to be talking about place value and how you can help your child at home with what we're doing in third grade. The first thing that we want to talk about is vocabulary that we're using. The most basic vocabulary is going to be digits. And we're referring to the numbers 0 through 9 and how those numbers are used to make up our place value system. Place value would be our second term that we're going to look at. For third grade, we're looking at two different, what we call periods. And periods are made up of hundreds, tens, and ones. And the ones period is a period where hundreds, tens, and ones just says its name. It doesn't say anything special. We also discussed the thousands period, and that's where hundreds, tens, and ones say their name, but they also say thousands as well. For example, for 6, if it was in this spot, it would say 600,000. And this is the highest periods that we go up to. We don't go to the millions in third grade. The last term that we should really talk about is value. And that's a little bit different from place value, although the students get that a little mixed up. The value really means the worth. For example, in the number 6,000, we want our kiddos to see that even though that digit 6 says 6, it is not worth 6. It is really worth 6,000 because of the place value that it's in. Now we're going to look at some different ways that we show place value and reading, writing, and saying whole numbers. The first form that we're going to look at is really just a standard form. This is the most basic form, and that's just writing the number. So standard form would be just writing it out using numerals. The second form that we would look at, and this is the one that is probably the most confusing for students because it tends to be the longest with so many zeros, is expanded form. And it's taking that number and talking about the value of each number and how each one adds up to create the whole number. For example, in 342,906, we have 300,000 plus 40,000 plus 2,000 plus 900 plus 6. And this is going to add up to give us this number. And so we just looked at each one of those digits in their worth, and we expanded it out. And you can see how that's pretty long and lengthy for our kiddos. Okay, our last form is word form, and this is a form that they just need practice writing and learning how to just take the time and make sure that they get all of those digits in there. Lastly, we're going to talk about some common misconceptions for third grade students. The biggest one is where we start with expanded form and you're missing a place in there. For example, if we look at 6,000 plus 40 plus 3, our students, when they say that and when they see that, they see a 6, they see a 4, and they see a 3. And so they write that down. However, if they just look at those individual digits and not really think about the value of them, what they end up getting is 643. But that's not what this number creates. And so what we have to get them to practice is that because there is a missing place in here, that would be that there are no hundreds, they have to use the 0 to hold their place to represent that there are, in fact, 0 hundreds. So that they're not just taking the digits that they see, but instead they have to think about, okay, how many thousands do I have? How many hundreds do I have? I have 0, so I would have to put that there to hold my place. I have 4 tens, and I have 3 ones. And that's why we put it out in this value, is so that they hear that this is not just a 6, that it's worth 6,000. There are 0 hundreds. This number is not just a 4 here. This is really 4 tens to make 40, and this is 3.